Hi, I'm Oonagh Williams of Royal Temptations, and as you know, I like to make real food from scratch with real ingredients, but I also like quick and simple recipes, which are obviously great for my students in my classes, and it's also what I want when I'm catering for clients in their homes. And I don't like lots of dirty dishes to wash up, so everything I do tries to be as straightforward as possible with ingredients you're used to and can get in the store. So I thought today we'd do an entree and a dessert, both cold, which would be great for the fancier parties in the summer. You don't want them just for your ordinary potluck barbecue. This is to impress some people, but still be very easy, and you can make them in advance. So we're going to start with a chicken Waldorf salad. And I'm sure a lot of you have heard of a Waldorf salad. It's a classic fruit salad with apples and grapes and nuts, and normally the nuts are walnuts, and walnuts are one of those nuts that cause a lot of allergies, and I personally don't really care for them, so I tend to use lightly salted peanuts or cashews instead. And I'm making it special by adding cooked chicken to it. Now, there's nothing to stop you having it just as a plain fruit salad. I did it for a client one time, and her son that doesn't like fruit ate it by the bowlful. And if you find when you come to taste it that because the apples are a bit sharper, it's too tart for you, add a little bit of sweetened cream to it, or even Cool Whip. Appalling, I know, but it really does make the taste very, very special. I think to add this cream, sweetened cream with chicken, you wouldn't like it, it would fight with it, but otherwise it's great. So let's get started. What I have is roughly 1.5 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken breast, which is about three breast halves. And I put the thawed raw chicken in a pan, cover it with hot tap water, put the lid on, bring it gently to the boil. When it reaches the boil, turn it down to the simmer it for about 7 minutes, turn the heat off and leave it covered to cool down in that water. It's the way the Chinese cook chicken, and as you can see, you end up with very, very white chicken this way. It's not colored at all, and it's very, very moist, and we're going to cut that up for the salad. There's absolutely nothing to stop you buying thick slices of plain roast turkey or roast chicken in the deli. Buy a complete roast chicken and just shred it yourself. If you cook chicken on the barbecue, use some that way, but I would say just plain roast chicken or roast turkey. Don't buy the lemon pepper or the funny seasonings, it will fight with this. So okay, I've cut up 2 of the chicken breasts, and I'm going to cut up the third now. You don't need to see me cut them all up, but you can see how tender it is. As I say, this can easily be made the day in advance and kept in the fridge. And they tell you you shouldn't cut, you should shred, but it's a lot easier just to use a knife and cut it, and you can get more even pieces that way, and it's quicker in my opinion, and then your fingers don't get messy. Okay, we've done that. And then to go into the bowl, I have 1/2 cup of mayonnaise, and I happily use the light mayonnaise. I really don't like non-fat of anything. I wonder what they've done to all of it to make it non-fat. And then to go with it, whoops, this is Yoplait custard style lemon yogurt. Now you can see how lovely and thick it is. The only thing I'd warn you is if you want to make this, make sure you find the lemon yogurt, because they don't always carry it. So if you want to buy it and you make it for tomorrow and they haven't got it, you're stuck. So buy it like a week in advance to make sure you've got it. And with the lemon, it just gives that slight extra flavor. And of course, by using the yogurt, you're cutting down on the bad calories of the mayonnaise. I don't know what it would be like with just pure yogurt. It's not something I've ever tried. It might be just a little bit too sharp. I don't add any extra salt or pepper. There's nothing to stop you if you want making this a curried version and putting some curry in. Pataks do very good curry pastes that you could stir in 1, 2, 3 teaspoons of it until you get the flavor you like. But that's done together. Now what's wonderful, we're going to put apples into it next, and I've already cut up 2 of the apples on the apple peeler core slicer, and they've got slightly brown just waiting for you. But you know how fruit normally goes brown. When you cut it into this lemon yogurt, it doesn't go any browner. The lemon yogurt stops it going brown. So what I did cut the apple on the apple peeler core slicer, so I got nice slices, and then I cut it into about 12. So you get fairly small pieces. You don't want huge chunks, but not as fine as shredded cheese. And I'll just do the last apple. And again, you know, you can be lazy, you can just core it and not bother to peel it, because then you get the color of the peel instead. This is a mixture of Granny Smith's and Gala apples. And I like the Gala, even though my recipe says Granny Smith, and it's roughly 3 apples you use. Get all this mess out the way. And here's the 3rd one going in. And I always do the apples in first, because that way you mix the apples in with the lemon yogurt and it stops it browning. And you can see, quite honestly, if I pull out a piece, that's the stuff I've just done, and that's the stuff that was cut before. So very slightly brown in the center, but not enough to be bad. Sticky fingers, but at least just juice. So then I'm just going to stir, get a bigger spatula, just stir it in so it's totally covered. And then the apples aren't going to get, as I say, any browner. And I'm going to add 3 stalks of celery that I've washed, and you can see cut into nice little pieces. If you don't like celery, okay, leave it out, but it adds a good scrunch. This is half a cup of golden raisins. Now, golden raisins are what we call sultanas in England. And if it's meant to be gold, how come that one's that dark? Lovely. So I'm putting those in. And then this is a cup of washed red grapes. Get the red or black grapes because it gives you the lovely colour, and put that one in. And again, washed and dried, because if you leave anything wet going in, then it dilutes down the dressing, which you don't want. It's getting a little bit too full in here to stir. I'm going to have to go to a bigger bowl. And then the chicken goes in. Don't you love these dump recipes? It's almost like Chinese stir fry, but at least we did have to do all this chopping in advance. And of course, the smaller you cut the chicken, the further it goes anyway. But again, you know, it means extra work cutting it up. Okay, so I changed it to a bigger bowl. The 8-cup bowl was just not big enough to be able to easily stir it without it splashing over the sides. And you want to stir it well together, so you've got a good blend of everything for each portion, and also so the lemon yogurt gets onto everything and makes it creamier and tastier. Now, if I was going to serve it at this minute, I'd add the nuts. If I want to keep it for tomorrow, I won't add the nuts because the nuts tend to soften when they're left with something. So there's half a cup of cashews going in. You could add peanuts instead, but remember, if you add peanuts or any nuts, put a sign out saying the nuts in it, because they are allergies. And you can see me mixing it. This would also be great with pieces of fresh strawberries in it, mandarins, some melon, apricots, nectarines, any peaches, any fruit you really like, cut up and put into it as well. Fabulous for a ladies' luncheon or any fancy dinner party you want to do. So you can't ask for much simpler than that. And as I said, remember, you can use the bought roast chicken, the bought sliced chicken, leftover chicken from the deli, and that makes it really, really simple for you. So we'll plate it up and you can see what it looks like.